Cobra.
Coming up in this week's episode, we tell you more about Carroll Shelby and his amazing life, see what our club members have been up to, talk to Joanne about her Cobra, give away a special prize to one of our viewers, find out more about rugby legend Warren Brosnan as we take him on his first ever ride in a Cobra, and tell you how you can win your very own Cobra in our lucky draw. Welcome to King Cobra TV. A lot of Carroll Shelby's competitive drive and success was due to his rivalry with legendary car designer Enzo Ferrari. This can be seen in the movie Ford vs. Ferrari that shows the rivalry between these two great drivers. One thing to remember is that both Enzo Ferrari and Carroll Shelby were both racing drivers before they built the legendary cars. Here's a couple of things the movie did not tell you. After graduating from high school in 1940, he enrolled at the Georgia Institute of Technology in the Aeronautical Engineering program. Pre-racing, Shelby enrolled into the United States Air Corps, where he started his pilot training in 1941 and graduated in 1942. He became a flight instructor and a test pilot for many aircraft, including the Beechcraft AT-11 Kansan, the Curtiss AT-9 Jeep, the Douglas B-18 Bolo, the North American B-25 Mitchell, the Douglas A-26 Invader, and finally the Boeing B-29 Superfortress. Before he started racing, he also owned a dump truck business, worked on an oil rig, and had a poultry business that went bankrupt. Enzo also spent time in the army. In 1918, he was discharged after getting severely sick from a widespread Italian flu outbreak. Shelby started off his driving career in an MGTC, and Enzo started his career in an Alfa Romeo. Little did they know that in time they would share one of the greatest rivalries motorsport has ever seen. And a couple of years later, we would witness the historical first ever win of Ford against the Italian competitor Ferrari at the 24-hour Le Mans race in 1966. Be sure to tune in to future episodes of King Cobra TV to find out more about this amazing individual's life and how he became one of the most influential people in automotive history. Now let's check out some video clips that Cobra owners from all over South Africa sent us.
So today we're here with Joe Marsden. Joe, you're one of a few members in our club. I think we've got 5 lady members, and just being a muscle car club, you know, that's sort of extreme. How long have you been a member?
Okay, I've been a member since 2021. So my husband John was a member from 2015, and he passed away from COVID last year. And so the car was both of our car, but he obviously it was his passion, and so I've now taken the car and embraced it, and love being a member of the club. Try and get to all the events when I can.
Before the passing of John, were you into Cobras? Did you go on runs, or is this a new thing for you?
I did go on runs, yes. I really enjoyed going on runs with him. I wasn't as into it as he was at the time, but that has evolved now, especially seeing that this was his car and the memories and everything that it has attached to it now. I'm 100% in love with this car and with the Cobra Club. It's been awesome, like a family. Really, really good.
The only thing I hope is that when I pass away someday, Megan does not join the club and take over my cars, especially taking over my cars. Because I told her that all the repairs on those cars are not even worth 5,000 Rand. Did you find something out like that John tried to hide all the fixing of the car and all the expensive spares?
So we have a Lexus in this car, so we actually haven't had very many repairs on it.
Thank you. Let's cut this interview, please. Let's cut this interview. Joe, a lot of ladies don't really know what's under the hood. They normally know where to find the pedals, where to find the little mirror so they can put on makeup. Do you know what's in your car, motor and tranny?
Yes, I do. I have a lot of petrol heads in my family from my side, my dad and my brothers, and then my husband and my oldest son is also a big petrol head. So I do know this is it's a Lexus 4-litre V8, and the gear is a 5-speed automatic gearbox, Lexus as well.
So it was lovely chatting to you. John has been a member of our club, and like you said, we're a family, and we look forward to you carrying on the legacy, and when you're not there anymore, your son, and that's what the Cobra Club is all about. So enjoy your call. We'll see you at the next traffic light.
Hi everyone, my name is Megan de Prier. Welcome to this week's segment of Win with Megs.
Win with Megs.
And this week we are giving away this beauty, a brake disc caliper wall-mounted clock. And to get your hands on this one, all you need to do is SMS the words King Cobra TV with your name to 076 5885 487. Good luck.
After the break, we talk to Warren Brosnan about his car history and tell you how you can win your very own Cobra for only 100 Rand.
Cobra. Cobra.
Warren Brosnan, rugby player extraordinaire. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. I tell you, I'm excited to be in this Cobra workshop. It's amazing and good to see you on it.
Surrounded by snakes, in the middle of the snake pit.
But the kind of snakes that we want to be surrounded by.
For sure. So, rugby has been your life.
Yeah.
If I can say your life, you've played rugby since you were at school, provincial, you played for the Boks, you've done it all.
Yeah.
Where did it start?
Oh, okay, I guess it started as a school when I was a youngster in Paarl, playing down in the Carroll of all places. So we then moved to Durban. My folks wanted to go up to Durbs, and ended up they took me to mini rugby every Sunday. After you play your school sports on the Saturday, and then Sunday we'd go play mini rugby. And from that, a dream started. Little Soti in Durban had this dream of one day trying to play for the Springboks, which might have been impossible, or you think it's not going to happen, but it was something that it was always in my mind and in my dreams. So yeah, I've been very grateful for the career I've had. Managed to play many years, and now to be involved with Supersport and doing commentary and still involved in this beautiful game is absolutely fantastic.
Growing up as a Afrikaans kid, we had multiple sports at school. You could play cricket, some guys played tennis, golf got introduced later. Were you just a rugby guy, or did you do something else?
No, and I agree with that philosophy. You've got to expose yourself to a lot of sports. So my parents were very big on getting us playing tennis and windsurfing and getting in the ocean and swimming and surfing and all that kind of stuff. And then at school I was big into my cricket, into my athletics, and obviously my rugby as well. So every weekend was busy. There was never an open weekend, I think, in the school calendar. And I think that's the way we should be brought up as kids, exposed to lots of different sports, develop some different muscular systems, different energy systems, and prepares you for life.
To close off on your rugby career, before we start talking about your cars, I would like to get into that. But before we close off, were you always a forward? Some kids start in the back line and then they eventually, as they grow bigger, they move into the forwards?
I guess the standard 4, standard 5, or what's it, grade 7, I was playing wing. As soon as I went into grade 8, I suddenly had this growth spurt, and I moved from wing to number 8, and it was loose forward from then on in. Played 8s the whole way through my schooling career. And the first time I actually played flank, or 6 or 7, and it's often what happens in professional sport, was when I played for the Sharks. So my first game at flank was when I played a game for the Sharks at flank. Otherwise, my whole schooling career predominantly played number 8.
I remember when I played rugby at school, because of my height, I used to play lock. But looking at professional rugby players, I should play scrum half.
Yeah, 100%.
So in your era and the day that you played, being an 8th man or even being a flank, how tall were you?
No, I was 1.89 m in the old system. I always had to work hard to put muscle on to get the extra weight, because the guys were a little bit fixated with how much you weighed at that stage. And I remember Mark Andrews being told once that he'd never play for the Springboks because he was too small, which, I mean, is absolutely crazy, you know. So we were fixated with the weight. So I was always in the gym trying to get myself as strong as you could and to bulk up. But whatever muscle you put on, you got to make sure you can carry it. So it's no good putting, and that's to all, if there's any schoolboys out there, whatever muscle you put on, you got to make sure it can move, and it's got to be able to be explosive. So that's the kind of muscle you want to try to put on.
So let's talk cars. That's the main goal of our interview today. Thank you very much for educating us and the viewers out there on the rugby side. But I want to know cars. So what was the very first car that you bought yourself?
Yeah, it's actually amazing. It was when I was in Australia playing rugby league. Obviously, we had a nice little contract, and I could go buy myself a vehicle. And I went and got myself a Toyota RAV back in the day. So, I mean, this is back in 1996. Before that, I was always borrowing my mother's car because I was a university student.
What car was that?
And she had a Mazda 323, a little red one. I mean, so that I used to do the old run, drop my mother at where she used to work and go off to university or tech, and then pick her up at the end of the day. So, yeah.
And you were one of those kids. I remember when I got my license the first time, if my mother asked, somebody wants to go to the shops, I was already in the car.
100%.
And now when we get older, if somebody wants you to go to the shop, you nominate someone else.
Yeah, but I still enjoy my driving. So I enjoy driving, whether we have a long trip and it's down to the Eastern Cape, down to Durban, up to Mozambique or Cape Town. I love to be out on the road driving the cars.
So let's say you buy a ticket, you win the lottery. You've got an unlimited amount of money. What is your ultimate car? What car would you go and buy the next day?
I think it's, with my personality, it's probably a more multi-purpose kind of car. I want a car where I'm going to put a surfboard. I want a car where I'm going to be able to, my kids and my wife are going to be able to come with, and we can pack stuff in and we can have an adventure. So for me, it's going to probably be something like one of the Land Rover Defenders, Land Rover, or the Cruisers or something like that. That's the kind of car I would absolutely love.
All right, so Warren, I think you misunderstood the question. I was saying you won the lottery, not the local lottery, because then you're limited to what you buy. I mean, you won the ultimate lottery. You can buy the ultimate car. The wife will stay at home, the kids will stay at home.
Yeah.
This is your car. What car would that be?
Well, I'll tell you, there's some pretty special cars sitting here in this workshop. But if you're going to push me to that, gee, I tell you, I was driving the other day. We were going over to White River, and there was this Porsche. I think it's a Tucson. I'm not sure what it's called, but that car, it's two-door, it's four-door, electric. It is absolutely beautiful. And I actually saw one at a golf day, and if I could choose a car, it would be that.
So with electric cars now, the attraction is the speed of an electric car. That thing from 0 to 100 is a few seconds because it doesn't need to build up revs to get to the top end. So with Cobras, electric Cobras, I think the die-hard Cobra fans, they love these cars for the noise they make. You know, it's a 100% American muscle car. You know, it's got exhaust literally a meter from your ear. When you pull off with the car, the noise the car generates, the vibration in the body, I think that's what these cars are all about. So I think without any further ado, let's get you into a Cobra. Let's see what your experience is. And I see you brought the right colored pants for this exercise.
Because you want dark pants, you don't want to be. No, I mean, you just had one now start up, and I mean, this whole building started shaking. It's actually incredible, like a guttural noise that it makes. And I've never got into a Cobra before. I've always thought that it's probably, and I mean, you're taller than I am, that we wouldn't fit into one. And the fact that you've got a couple of them, and so the fact that you can drive one and shows that we could actually access it, even though you are over whatever height it is.
Let's see if we can replace this in your to-do list.
Hey.
Take the Porsche out and put a Cobra in.
Hey, fantastic. Looking forward to it.
So guys and girls, imagine this. You wake up on the 12th of Jan 2023, you hear a loud noise outside your house, you open up the curtains, you look outside, and here's the most beautiful Cobra car parked in your driveway, and you've won it. So this car behind me, this beautiful blazing orange Cobra with the 351 Ford Windsor motor and a 3-speed gearbox. We're currently building this car and we're giving it away on the 11th of January in celebration of the great man himself, Carroll Shelby. It would have been his 100th birthday, and we're giving away this car to one lucky person. And how can you win this car? Very simple. You buy a ticket online for 100 Rand. And I promise you it will be the best 100 Rand you've ever spent. 100 Rand only will get you into a lucky draw. And as they always say, you have to be in it to win it. And how can you win this car? You go onto cobraclub.co.za's website and follow the prompts. Very simple. Get your ticket in. The lucky draw will take place on Carroll Shelby's birthday, 11th of January, and the winner will be notified the next day. I hope you win.
After the break, we'll find out what Warren thinks about his very first Cobra experience.
Cobra. Cobra.
Esti, nice to see you, brother.
Likewise, Hendrik.
Yeah, Esti, so looking at these cars, American Muscle, sharing everything about the Cobra Club of South Africa on our King Cobra TV show, offering something for our members to win in every episode, and then the next couple of episodes we're just showcasing off these beautiful machines. From your side, what can we expect?
So definitely looking forward to showcasing some of the Cobra projects that are going on in some of our members' garages. Also looking forward to the runs to show them what we get up to when we take these awesome beasts out on the road. And yeah, the viewers just need to sit back, relax, enjoy the ride for the next 13 episodes.
Please note that the following segment was recorded in a controlled environment using a 6-harness safety belt. Please do not attempt this without advanced driving skills.
This thing's got power, brother.
This thing is fast, China.
No, it's got power.
This thing is fast.
And this car doesn't like to. It doesn't want you to.
It doesn't want to idle, huh?
Yeah, it's got a very big cam, but it doesn't want you to go into a corner and put foot. It just wants to go sideways.
Really? So this one?
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's too much power. It's got absolutely no traction, even though I've got big wheels.
Nice.
Guys, eh?
I can only imagine around a racetrack.
Yes, dude.
Jeez,
and
bro.
this is slow compared to that white car.
Really?
I promise you, that white car, it will give you whiplash every time that I gear, but proper whiplash.
Watch these potholes,
see. Yeah, so this car, when I drive at 140, it's in 4th gear because of the cam. You can't put it in 5th because it'll just go whoop, 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 like that all the time.
It's not moving quick enough.
No, it needs to have high revs. for the motor. And you'll get guys hooting at you, waving at you, taking pictures. Because if I ask you, when last did you see one of these on the road? Dude, they scarce.
Yeah.
There's over 2,000 of them in the country, but they scarce.
Because Oaks aren't always driving.
Drive them on weekends. And if you don't see them on a weekend driving, then you don't see them.
And you got what, that's your 6,000 Ks on you?
Yeah, so these cars are not, you don't drive to Cape Town and Durban, you can. This weekend we went to Harry Smith, then to Clarence, and from Clarence back.
Did you take this one?
Yeah. So you can drive it, but guys, don't drive it far. But the nice thing is the exhaust is literally half a meter away from your ear.
Yeah.
And you can hear the car, because it's a V8, you can hear it in stereo. You hear it this side and that side. You don't hear it simultaneously.
Yeah, because it's doing that.
Yeah.
I had a meeting with the Oaks when we buy cars at 9:30 and now I'm sitting on one of these things.
Oh.
It's been a car day today.
Yeah. And you can see the bonnet scoop is also a bit higher than a normal car. Normal car is that high, normal Cobra. But because it's got such a big motor, the motor sits very high.
It needs the space.
So it needs to go up, yeah. Got insane acceleration.
And the brakes also work.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got brake calipers on all four of the wheels.
Yeah.
And it's got racing brakes. And you'll feel the suspension is super hard. So it sticks on the corner. You'll smell the you can smell the tires.
Jeez. You go through your tires quickly then, huh?
No,
But you got a couple of them.
No, not really. So I've installed this now. This is not part of the car.
What is that?
It shows me when to change gears.
Join us next week as we visit the Cobra workshop in Pretoria, talk to some more members about their builds, and take superstar Nadine for a ride in one of these beautiful beasts.
SMS Carroll brake disc caliper. This week we are giving away
You say it's 8 litre. How many glasses of white wine goes into 8 litres of petrol?
I don't drink wine, so I wouldn't know.
What do you drink?
I drink water.
No, Joanne! The compression ratio on the gearbox from first to second, what would you say, in what category range is that?
I know you are.
So growing up as a okay, welcome from here.